We did not use toilet paper. This was considered a luxury.
My name is Lucia. For those of you that don't know, I was born and raised Amish, but ran away in pursuit of my dreams.
What was shaving like? Short answer is we were not allowed to cut our hair or shave anything on our body. But I want to paint a picture for you here. If you never shave the hair on your legs, they get pretty long. The good news is that we wore long stockings, knee-high stockings, most of the time. The bad news is sometimes that hair on your leg would come out through the stockings. It's comical. The first order of business after leaving for me was get the dang hair off. But before I could even shave my armpits, I had to literally take a scissor and cut my armpit hair down before I could shave it. But let's not forget razor burn. My skin had never been exposed to shaving. And so razor burn, oh my God, it was terrible.
We did not use toilet paper. This was considered a luxury. Luxury.
In what world can you not use toilet paper? I mean, I know back before they didn't have toilet paper, they would have had to have done something else, but used an alternative product. But she said that so casually, toilet paper was a luxury. I'm like, wow, okay.
We didn't have this. I don't ever remember having toilet paper. Here's what we did though. We would take any kind of newspaper, any kind of magazines, anything like that, and we would take the paper and just rip it and cut it or rip it, so literally go like this and make it into little squares. That's probably actually a little small, in order to make it so that actually you can use it to wipe. You do that, and then this is what we use to wipe. So yeah.
That's got to be so uncomfortable. I think that's my first thought, and I'm thinking, why not just use paper, just use toilet paper? But obviously I know they're really strict with this. I didn't know actually about the hair. When she first said that she was Amish, I thought it's going to be quite interesting for me. This is going to be an interesting video, I think. I'm going to learn a lot here, and I'm sure people watching are probably going to learn quite a bit too. Yeah. I actually find this sort of stuff interesting, hearing about other cultures and how they sort of go about their daily life. I think it's fascinating, to be honest. I mean, that whole thing with the toilet paper just blew my mind.
Hygiene was definitely not something that was top priority. We took a bath. We didn't have showers because we didn't have indoor plumbing. So we took a bath once a week. So as far as hygiene goes in that part, it's not necessarily something that's a strong suit of theirs, but also remember, they're not taught about it. We were not allowed to use store-bought pads. We were not allowed to use tampons or anything of that kind. So we had to make our own cloth pads, and the way that we did that is we used old cotton blankets that we weren't using for anything else, and we would cut it in, the long pieces, sew them together to make it a really thick pad. That's what we had to use. We used old blankets or old sheets and whatever, and just sewed our own, and then used them and reused them and used them again. So that's the hygiene and menstruation feedback on that.
So there are 3 things that always surprises people when I tell them about my Amish community. The first one of the 3 is the fact that my parents have 19 kids, and within those 19 kids are 3 sets of twins, and I'm a twin. But not only that, my mom birthed all of these kids naturally. The second one is the fact that we did not have social security numbers. So when I left, I had to go apply for a social security number. And let's not forget that I had $20 to my name when I left. The third one is that we are bilingual. Actually, we are trilingual. Our first language is Pennsylvania Dutch, and then we learned German, and English when we went to school. Where I grew up was the most strict form of Amish community that you can grow up in. So this area that I'm walking around in is much more modernized. For example, this flower plant right here, we weren't even allowed to have flowers like that. So big difference.
Wow. I have learned a lot there, to be honest. 19 kids, her mum as well, birthed like naturally. 3 sets of twins. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think, I wonder how old her mum is if she's had 19 kids. Surely she would have had like a child, like, still. That leaves quite a, oh wow. She must have had like a baby like every year. That's gotta be heavy. That's, oh, I couldn't imagine. I even had 1. So I can imagine having 19. Wow. It's quite cool though, to be fair. Like, I actually really enjoyed watching that. I feel like I've definitely learned some like things about like Amish life, and I didn't really, I've heard of it and I knew little bits about it, but I didn't know that much. So yeah, that was interesting.
Thanks for watching StoryTrender. Don't forget to like and follow.